I did pick up that you were talking about something that wasn't necessarily agile. Is that right?
It's within the agile stratosphere.
So it's still classed as agile?
It's still classed as agile.
Okay.
Well, it's basically it's within the mindset of agile, but Obeya
Yeah.
is like it's next level stuff. Like it's because agile is very sort of well mature now in terms of frameworks and understanding exactly how it works. You know how teams and I don't want to say organisations need to work, but certainly teams kind of understand agile and kind of get it. So Obeya is all about sort of setting out how do we communicate better, how do we pass information across the organisation without it burdening, without it just overwhelming everybody. And you know, I mentioned in the talk about the amount of the stats and people burning out and the cost to the economy that's happening. We need to completely overhaul how we do that. So that's what Obeya is all about. It's kind of dynamic and vibrant, and it just brings people together, the right people into a room so that they can actually make key decisions, see what's going on, align on what's going on, and actually reduce the amount of burden of information. I call it information flow, essentially.
Is there any questions in particular that stood out to you that you feel like you'd like to kind of dive into a bit deeper?
Yeah, well, one of them actually was about scaling. So it's one of the key questions that like an executive or executive level would have. It's like, okay, we can maybe do this in isolation, but how do we then make it effective across the organisation? And that's going to be the challenge for any senior leader going into it. So, you know, for a big organisation like a Volvo or a Tesco, for example, they had those kind of problems. So what you do is you set it out so that you've got different layers of Obeya. Doesn't mean to say that there's layers of hierarchy, but it just makes sure that you are sort of overlapping the Obeya rooms so that there is, you know, good kind of coordination between between all of the sort of different communication points or touch points.
What would you say like the biggest challenges for like bringing it in, basically?
Yeah, how do you get people on board? I always use this analogy for any new initiative, the iPhone model, right? So when iPhone first started out, you had people queuing up around the block, camping out overnight to actually buy it because they were really keen and wanting to, you know, get their hands on the first iPhone model. So they're called early adopters. So what you want to do is to try and identify a small group within an organisation, like a team that can actually trial it out and pilot, and then what we'll do is spend 3 months actually implementing it and really making it work within the organisation, and then you can showcase to others so they can see it actually working and the impact that it can have, and then people come on board. I wasn't an early adopter for iPhone. I was one of the ones that would lag behind, and I'd sort of a few years later, I was like, actually, I want some of that.
When you're trying to bring that transformation in, we often get people that are already interested in it when you come into organisations.
Yes, yeah, and the people who have come from other places and they know of it or have used it, they'll bring it in and they'll see the problems that are going on for an organisation that hasn't adopted Agile, and so they're the ones that will actually be much bigger advocates for it.
They'll be the early adopters, the ones that are already kind of heard about it.
They're the ones who actually have that mindset, who are already bought into it, and so those are the ones who you want to try and identify. So, but there'll be other ways that you can actually get people excited about it. There's, you know, good PR training, having kind of lunch and learns or whatever, just actually building up that knowledge and awareness. And you know, Obeya, it sounds a little bit like Agile was 20 odd years ago. People will be like, what is that?
Well, there are sometimes people that have misconception about it then when you first come in there.
I mean, luckily not yet, but it will happen. It's too fresh.
I see.
Whereas Agile, actually, what happened after sort of 5-10 years, people started to become aware, and then a bit like mixed messages. There were severe misconceptions that went on, and then eventually it became fudged, and you'd have all sorts of different variations of it. The same could certainly happen with Obeya. I'm sort of conscious that that's something that we need to be aware of to actually set out really good quality standards from the off.
All right, nice one. Thanks for speaking with me today.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thanks.